o'clock. Welcome to Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. And as usual, we've got a great show lined up for you today. My first guest will be Donna Butler. We'll talk to her about the New Direction treatment services. Second guest will be Gina Ruffin Moore. She's got a book out called Cincinnati. Goes back into the history of Black Cincinnati. Wait until you see some of the photographs in that book. It's unbelievable. And then the final portion of the show, I've got my good friend Judge Leslie Isaiah Gaines. You better believe it. He's my guest, my third guest today. So we've got an action-packed show for you. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to go along for a ride on Lincoln Ware Live. Donna Butler, you're with the New Direction Treatment Services. Tell us a little bit about it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. New Direction is a brand new outpatient treatment program that in the Cincinnati area. It's located down over the Rhine. And we've been around for a couple of years now. We're very small. We're private. We don't receive any government funding, no insurance payments. It's directly self-pay. And we've started a community outreach program that we're very excited about. We're giving 2 full scholarships for people that qualify and 5 partial scholarships so that people that can't afford treatment can get it.
Okay, and we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll find out that if you know someone who's addicted to drugs and you want to get them cleaned up, how they can get involved in this program. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come right back and tell you more about the New Direction Treatment Services when we return to Lincoln Ware Live. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stick around. Coming up, Gina Ruffin Moore also. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Donna Butler is with me. Now, say, for instance, Donna, I know someone who's strung out on drugs. They, strung out on crack or something. And they don't have any money, and we're trying to get them in the program. What do you do?
Well, if you're a friend or a family member, you can give me a call, and I could, on the phone, give you some helpful hints in dealing with this person in specific situations. We get family members that call all the time. But you cannot force somebody into drug and alcohol treatment.
They have to want to go.
Yeah, there has to be some level of motivation. Now, we can sort of contrive a level of motivation with a family intervention. We do those.
Sort of like a Britney Spears type deal.
Well, yeah. Or
maybe not as dramatic, but yeah, I get you.
So we can do that. Those are very successful, significantly more successful than you might imagine. But usually there's a lot of helpful hints that I can give a family member along the way.
And so they meet all the qualifications, and so they bring this person down, and then what? Is it like a boot camp?
No.
We are you see
very
these things
gentle.
on TV.
Right. We are not confrontational. We are very gentle. We are very compassionate. We use a lot of techniques to help engage the person in a loving way.
Does that work better than the hardcore boot camp way, you think? Some people probably need some toughness, to get tough with them. You being warm and compassionate, I don't know, it may not work. But
well, family members do get frustrated, and they do express their feelings maybe in that way. But in the treatment arena, the evidence shows that the loving, compassionate way does seem to engage people.
Yeah. Okay. All right, if you've got questions, 513-381-3838 or 651-3838 if you want to jump on board, if you've got questions about the New Direction Treatment Services. And how long, would a person be under your care?
6 months.
6 months. 6 months.
We have, they start out coming 3 times a week, and then we step it down to 2 times a week and then 1 time a week.
Okay. And if the person has a job or and you work it around their schedule, how does that work? It's not that they just go in and stay there. Right. They can come and go.
Right. It's not residential treatment. Our hours are evenings and weekends.
Okay.
So most of our work is done when a person is not working at their job.
And you drug test them every so often to make sure that they're clean?
We do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
And what happens if you test someone and you see that, hey, they've gone back to drugs? What happens then?
Well, we need to tailor their care. There might need to be more contact. When people start having positive drug screens, sometimes it's when we've stepped them down from 3 times a week to 2 times a week or 1 time a week. So we might need to step them back up to more contact.
Okay. Now, is there a phone number people can call?
Yes, it's 513-460-2867.
And what the qualifications for the scholarships? Is there is there a minimum wage you can make or a maximum amount of money you can make?
No, we haven't really been doing that. Most of the people, if you are working full time, unless you have a lot of dependents or a lot of medical expenses, you probably wouldn't qualify. But people that are working part-time or not employed at all or on disability, a fixed income, they would qualify for at least the partial scholarship. People that are not employed at all would qualify for the full scholarship.
And you have to bring pay stubs and things like
that?
Yes,
people
what do they need to bring?
They need to bring a pay stub. They need to bring any other, a medical expense that they are paying on, or a gas and electric bill that they might be paying on, various things like that.
And how long have you been around with the New Direction Treatment Services?
We're brand new, just a little over 2 years.
Okay. And what about the success rate?
Actually, our completion rate, the success rate, trying to determine that is kind of hard, but we have had a 85% completion rate. So people that come through the door, we do work with them and help them complete successfully. So, but what happens after that, we can't always know. We do send out some surveys, and we get a small percentage back, and with a lot of positive comments.
So what do you have most, what do people come to you with mostly? Is it meth, crack, or what is it?
Mostly it's alcohol.
Alcohol? Really?
DUIs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the majority of the people. We do have a lot of employers that send their clients with marijuana problems. They've had a dirty drug screen at with their employer. So, but it's mostly alcohol, and then of course there's some periodic other kinds of drug usage. In outpatient treatment, it's not residential. So outpatient, we're going to get people that their lives are a little bit intact.
Okay.
They're functioning.
Give that phone number out once again.
It's 460-2867.
All right, write that number down, and let's see, we've got a couple of more minutes here. We'll try to take a phone call or two. Mary, how you doing?
Doing well, and I know you are, because you're looking awful handsome. Did you pick that tie?
Yes, I did, Mary.
You did? Is that a new suit?
Gee, why are you delving into my private life, Mary?
I like
it's a new
coats.
suit.
They're real modern. Your coats, I like those long jackets you wear.
All right, Mary.
You're real modern. You got a nice selection wardrobe. You don't work in those, do you?
Now, are you calling about me and my wardrobe, or the treatment program?
Well, I want to ask her, is spirituality in the program? Like AA, do you have spirituality?
Yes, we do. We do help the person to engage in sober support, if that's at their church or if it's at AA meetings or NA meetings. So we do encourage that strongly and help them, to actually hook up with that community.
And so do you have group settings there during the treatment?
Yes, yes, we do have groups.
Okay,
right.
All right. It sounds like a great program, and hopefully people take advantage of it. I need you to give that phone number again, because I know I'll get phone calls after the show. What was that number Miss Donna Butler gave out? So give that number again before we wrap things up.
It's 460-2867.
And it's called the New Direction Treatment Services, and you're located in Over the Rhine?
Yes, we are, on Central Parkway.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining me this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and hear what Gina Ruffin Moore has to say about her book called Cincinnati. And wait until you see some of the photographs that are in this book. Unbelievable. Call all your family and friends and gather around the TV to check it out. Back in a moment. And we are back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. As promised, my guests for the second half of the show, Gina, Ruffin, Moore. Welcome to the show, Gina.
Thank you, Lincoln.
And we've known each other for years, worked together at WCIN years ago. And I tell you, when I saw this book, it was just, I couldn't put it down because you see all the different stories and, you know, the history of Black Cincinnati. And who gave you the idea to do this book?
Well, I'm a trivia buff. And I started putting together lists and sort of a chronological history of the city of Cincinnati. And I used to work at the University of Cincinnati, and I used to do publicity for the history department and the libraries and law department. And there was a guy who wrote books there. His name was Kevin Grace. And he had done several Arcadia publishing books, along with Greg Hand, who's the PR person.
At UC.
UC, yeah. And I was an associate communications officer. So I started talking to him after I left there and went to the city, and I was telling him about all these factoids I had about blacks in Cincinnati. And so he says, why don't you just write a book? And I said, well, I never thought about that. And he said, well, he had written one, and he sort of got me in touch with the publishing company, Arcadia Publishing, and I went ahead and wrote the book.
All right. Well, I tell you what, it's some fascinating photographs in here. Let's just bring up the first photograph, and we'll talk about them, and we'll show. Okay. All right. We got a little mic difficulty here, but I was just. They'll change your mic out there in a second, or give you a handheld.
Okay.
Just hand me that, and we'll try to slide this in here, Gina.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
So we can get that mic working. There we go. Okay, now let's just hit the first photograph here and see what we have.
Okay.
Now, this right here.
Now, that's on the cover of the book. And it's interesting. I got this photo from WCIN's archives. And I couldn't identify the people in the photo because, as you know, some of the folks who worked at CIN way back then, none of them are there, except maybe one of the engineers who works on the weekends. Well, it turns out that the lady she's sitting down, second from the right. She has a flower on her dress. That's Tiny Belle Love.
Okay.
And Tiny Belle Love was very active in the community. And it turns out that she used to go to my church, Mount Zion Baptist Church. But these were some young people who had
now, is that tall guy, is that Larry Dean?
It looks like it to me.
Yeah, I think that's Larry Dean.
But I couldn't confirm it. But you probably know a lot of those.
I don't see Bug Scruggs in there. I don't think he's in there. But, yeah. Okay, let's flash up another. Now, this guy is a very interesting guy. What's his name?
That's William Parham. William Parham was the first African-American to graduate from University of Cincinnati Law School. Okay. Although it wasn't called University of Cincinnati Law School, it's just called Cincinnati Law.
Okay. So he was the first graduate.
Yeah.
Is he any relation to Margie Parham, who used to own the Cincinnati Herald?
Exactly. He is related to her husband's relatives. Okay. And so the Parham family has been around for quite a long time.
Okay. Let's flash up another one there. Okay, that's a school or something.
That's Douglas School.
Douglas School.
Douglas School was like the heartbeat of the community. I mean, this was more than just a school. This school had a library in it. It had a nurse's office in it. I mean, and for many African Americans who were migrating from the South, from, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, they would come to this community where Douglas School was.
And what was that? What was that? Is that Walnut Hills area?
Yeah, Walnut Hills area.
Okay.
Definitely.
Let's flash up another one.
Okay, that's the cover of the Union newspaper, and it's interesting. Marion Spencer says some people who didn't like the Union because of the Republican politics by Wendell Dabney would sometimes call it the Onion because they said it stank. But the Union.
Okay, so this is like a black Republican. Okay.
Wendell Dabney, in fact. He was the inspiration for me to write this book, too, because there's a book called Cincinnati's Colored Citizens that a lot of people have that Wendell Dabney wrote. And that book is just a classic. It's just outstanding. And mine doesn't come anywhere close to it. But he was an inspiration to me, Wendell Dabney was. And
all right. 513, let's see, 381-3838. Or you can call 651-3838 if you want to, interject some of your history of Cincinnati to some of these photographs. Let's flash up another one here. Who do we have here? Now, that's little Abraham Isaac Jacob Swanson XII.
Can you say all of those names?
he was probably one of the longest reigning people at WCIN. Probably, I think I ranked number 2 to this guy.
I think he's the only person you're number 2 to, Lincoln. Yeah. Because, I mean, he's been on the air longer than anybody at WCIN.
Yeah, he's no longer on the air now, but yeah, he was around a long time. Still preaching too, I believe.
Isn't he though? Yeah. We're in prayer for him. He lost his wife not too long ago,
right.
but he's on the road to return, and he's doing.
And go ahead. We got some other photographs to flash up here. Who do we have next? Give us another one. Now that's Martin Luther King, and who else was that?
That is Martin Luther King. We all recognize him, but the man on the far left, that's Otis Moss.
Okay,
Reverend Dr.
Moss.
Otis Moss, who used to be pastor of Mount Zion Baptist in Laughlin, but that's his wife next to him. I can't remember her first name. And then the guy next to Martin Luther King is Robert McAfee. He goes to Mount Zion, and that's Dorothy Armstrong. Both of them were chair of the annual day. It was a combination men's and women's day. And the reason Martin Luther King came and spoke at Otis Moss's church so much is because they went to school together at Morehouse. In fact, Reverend Martin Luther King performed Reverend Moss's wedding to his first wife. So,
and speaking of Martin Luther King, if you can zoom in on this, I've got the book here. There is the riots that broke out right after Martin Luther King was assassinated. You see a Cincinnati cop with a guy on a car, and he's got the nightstick. Yeah. Ready to go upside his head with that nightstick there. They're still doing the same thing nowadays. Yes, nothing has changed.
But you know, Margie Parham told me that actually things were quite calm in the beginning, but something happened where someone's car backfired, and the rumor got out that a cop had shot a black woman. Oh boy! And the rumors went like crazy, because before all that happened, it was very peaceful at the corner of Reading and Rockdale, where that Abraham Lincoln statue is, and everybody used to pour paint on. That's where everything was, and the Black Panthers were all lined up. And Alan Howard at the Inquirer said they put out the word to the Cincinnati Police Department, don't send any white officers down here. Oh boy! So there were all black cops, and everything was peaceful. But when that car backfired,
that was it.
Rumors spread, and it went from a totally peaceful situation
into just total chaos.
Exactly.
And here's another photograph. I see Jesse Jackson is here with his afro, along with oh, okay, we got that one. Okay, we'll put that. I think we got that.
I think that's the one where he's got a big afro and he's standing next to Otis Moss.
Otis Moss, and there he is right there.
That's Fred Shuttlesworth on the far left.
Shuttlesworth.
And then Otis Moss, and you see Ted Berry.
Ted Berry is right there too. You can see Ted Berry.
First black mayor. And in the background, you sort of see some feet. That's the statue.
Yeah, right.
Standing in front of that statue.
All right. Let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Georgetta. Georgetta, how are you?
I'm doing peachy.
Good.
Peachy, I know peachy.
What's on your mind?
Well, Venus and I, we go way, way back. I don't call her Gina. She knows that. But when I got her book, I just fell in love with it. I mean, most interesting part in there for me was, everything was interesting, but the history about Marion Spencer.
Yes.
Because I didn't know she was a twin. I knew of the lady. I knew what she's done for the city. I see her husband and her husband walking hand in hand through the city all the time. But that, I did not know she was a twin, what she went through when she went to UC, where she had to stay.
And I think we've got a photograph of Marion Spencer and her twin in there someplace. So we'll try to find that and put that up on the screen so people can see. And Marion Spencer was a good-looking lady when she was back in the old days.
She was. And she's still fine.
Yeah. I mean, if I had known Marion Spencer back then, I would have tried to whisper a few words to old Marion.
You would have gotten in trouble.
Donald would have been after you.
All right.
Hi, Georgetta.
But now, you still have a smile on your face.
Who is that? That's
Marion Spencer and her twin sister.
Okay, that's her and her twin sister.
And that's their dad. And he said, she told me that her dad couldn't tell them apart. So instead of calling them by their first names,
thanks, Georgetta,
he just called them Babe. By Georgetta.
Yeah,
he just said, hello, babe. Yeah. So he just didn't get them mixed up.
All right, we need to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more photographs of Cincinnati and Gina Ruffin Moore. We'll take a quick break, and if you want to jump on board, you can do that now. 513-381-3838, 651-3838. You can get on either one of those numbers, and we'll talk to you this morning. Back in a moment. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Gina, Ruffin, more. The name of the book, Cincinnati. And you're having a book signing February 23rd at 2 o'clock at the Freedom Center.
Yes, sir. It'll be a book signing and also a presentation. I'll show a few more of these slides on that day.
And you'll also be at the Buzz Book Fair, which is this coming Saturday at Woodward Career and Technical School.
Yes, February 9th at Woodward High School, definitely.
So they will be there, and you'll have a chance to browse through the book. And how much of the...
They're $19.99.
Okay.
I don't charge tax.
And where can you pick it up?
You can pick it up at the Black Book Fair this coming Saturday, February 9th, or you can pick it up at any bookstore in Cincinnati. There's also a black bookstore called An Open Book in Silverton that you can pick it up at, but you can pick it up at Borders, Barnes & Noble, Walden Books. At all the major malls, you can find this book, even way out in Westchester.
Let's go back to the telephones. Queen. How you doing, Queen?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Listen, I was just wondering, as far as where to buy the book and everything, that was a big question for me, but you just told it.
Oh, okay.
But I do want to know, do you think you had one with Martin Luther King when he came to town in '65, and at the Laura Lynn grocery thing, Laura Lynn park thing, down there on Lynn Street. Now it's called Martin Luther King Shopping Center.
Well, I think they've got a couple of photographs of Martin Luther King in here, but I don't know if it's at that particular location that you're referring to. But thanks anyway, Queen.
All right, y'all have a good day.
All right, keep watching. And we got a picture of Frank Robinson when he was down at Stagg's Barbershop in the West End. Do we have? There you go, Frank Robinson centered there, sitting down, and that's some guys from Stagg's Barbershop.
And now the guy on the left, the far left, his name is Lester Hankerson, and the second guy is Otis Miller, and then the guy behind Frank is Cleo Jenkins. He's a bowler, and then the last one is Mr. Whitman. And so, you know, I was told this is at Stagg's Barbershop.
And see, you know, these players today, I don't know if you know, they hang out in the hood like these guys, Frank Robinson and Beta Benson used to do. You just never see these guys. It's, maybe at the club sometime they hang out, but just to come out and mix with the people and it's not at a nightclub, they don't do that anymore. It's,
really?
You just, it's hard
you don't see them.
You just don't see them that often. Doug, how you doing?
Yeah, Doug. What's up, Lincoln? This is Doug. You know me from coming to getting the ink pens up there. I come upstairs to get those ink pens.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Doug.
Yeah, I worked with Gina, and she did a fantastic job with that book. That's all I wanted to say.
Yes, she did.
Thank you. And Doug has done a fantastic job helping me sell this book among my fellow city employees. Thank you, Doug.
Keep up the good work.
All right, Doug.
Thank you.
Thanks for your call. 513-381-3838. 651-3838. Let's flash up a couple of other photographs here. See what we have.
Oh, and can I say one quick thing? That last photo from the Stagg's Barbershop. Some people we have differing points of view. Some people say it might have been taken at a different Photoshop in Avondale. I mean Barbershop in Avondale, but we're working that out.
All right. Okay, I think, what do we have coming up next? Okay, we had that one already. That was Marion Spencer. Now there's Marion Spencer grown up and her twin.
Yes. Now her twin lives in Washington, D.C., and her husband worked for the FBI, so she's in D.C. very much alive.
I'm thinking that's Marion on the right. Am I
correct? It is. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. You're definitely right. And it's funny. Donald Spencer said when they were dating, he never had any trouble telling one from the other, so they couldn't pull any tricks on him. You know.
Now we had a photograph of Ezra Charles in there somewhere. Can we pull the Ezra Charles photograph up?
Oh, that might be the one taken at Union Baptist at the Man's Hotel.
Yeah.
And he's with.
It was on the. Let's see. We're working on finding Ezra Charles there.
Yeah, Ezra Charles was very active in the community.
And let's go to the telephones while they find that Ezra Charles. Christine, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good.
I just wanted to say I think the book is beautiful. I can't wait to get my own copy of it.
Wonderful.
And I think it's a beautiful book. I like the pictures and the history.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of history in this book here.
Okay. And if you can just tell me again how much you can purchase it for and where you can get it at.
It's $19.99. And you can purchase it at Borders Books or Walden Books or Barnes & Noble, either in Kenwood or Tri-County. Or you can come to the Black Book Fair this Saturday at Woodward High School. And there, not only can you buy it, but I'll autograph it for you. And you can also get it at a store in Silverton. Wendell Young's daughter owns a bookstore. It's called An Open Book, and you can get it there as well.
Oh, great.
And so just give me a call, 478-7075, 478-7075, and wherever you are, I'll just, if you can't make it out, I can get it to you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm very proud of you. The book looks great.
Thank you.
All right,
I
thanks for your
appreciate
call.
your call.
Appreciate it. And we can zoom in. We got a picture of Judge Nathaniel Jones and Kenneth Blackwell and Judge Jones's wife there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And we see Ken Blackwell with his afro there, and Judge Jones.
Yeah.
And Judge Jones's wife there.
Yeah, that was back when Ken Blackwell was
the mayor. That's when he was the mayor.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you look, we've got a picture of Barack Obama in there. How about that? It's at the bottom.
That's more modern day history.
Can we back to that camera again? Let's see Barack Obama and that's
Donald Spencer.
Donald Spencer.
Yeah,
right
shaking hands
yeah.
there.
Right
I said,
there.
well, you
Barack
know,
Obama.
Depending on how things turn out,
yeah.
he might be part of history.
That's right. That's right. And even Dwight Tillery, Dwight Tillery, when he was mayor, a lot of people forget about Dwight Tillery was once the mayor, and he got the popular vote.
He got the first popular. He's the first
There
black mayor to be elected by popular vote.
Is right. Yeah,
Definitely.
The first black mayor to be elected by popular vote, Dwight Tillery, and he'll
Mark
never let
Mallory's
you forget
next.
that either. He
No,
never
he
let you
won't.
forget that.
Yep. In fact, that's why I made sure I put it in there.
Do we have any other slides we can throw up there? Just throw something up there.
Yeah.
Throw them up there, and we'll talk about them once they get up there.
I also put in a photo of James Brown because of King Records.
Yes.
And you know, the first time I met James Brown was at WCIN when we were both working there. I was
He used to
doing
come
news,
over all
and
the
someone
time.
said, you know, James Brown is in the building, and I happened to walk up there. Now, this is DeHart Hubbard's grandfather. DeHart Hubbard was one of the first African Americans to win a gold medal at the Olympics.
Okay.
And DeHart Hubbard
went to Walnut Hills, didn't he?
Oh yeah, went to Walnut Hills,
Yeah.
and this guy, he was a chauffeur for the publisher of the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Really?
And he's the reason, the fact that DeHart Hubbard's father, that's DeHart Hubbard's father, sorry, I might have said grandfather. The fact that he worked for the publisher of the Enquirer is the reason DeHart Hubbard got to go to college on a scholarship at the University of Michigan, because they had a contest in the black community to see who could sell the most subscriptions to, John Eckberg at the Enquirer told me this, whoever sold the most subscriptions to the Enquirer won a scholarship to the University of Michigan.
And so
his
won.
son won. So, and some people say that he received the first athletic scholarship in the history of the United States.
Now, I think we had a picture. There you go. That's him right there on the team at Walnut Hill.
Yep, there he is. I think that's the track team. He's
the track team.
Front row, far
of course,
left.
he's the only black.
You
not
don't have
too
any
many
trouble
blacks,
noticing which one
right, not too many blacks attended Walnut Hills back in those days, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Very
right.
few.
And you know, he went on to found the National Bowlers Association.
Really?
Which is now based in Cincinnati, and the fact that he founded that National Bowlers Association, that opened it up for a lot of black people who started playing in leagues at Madison Bowl and different places around the country.
All right, I tell you what, a great way to open up Black History Month here on the Lincoln Ware Show.
Thank you.
A lot of black history. Gina, Ruffin, more. Let's go to Lenora. Lenora.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
How are you, Mr. Ware? And hi, hon.
Hi, Lenora.
Hi. I wanted to ask you something. You know, since this is Black History Month, I work at Kroger's at Ferguson in Western Hills, and your book should be in the Kroger stores.
I agree.
I really do
For
think
Black
so.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I need to talk to somebody about that.
Yes, ma'am, you really do, because I think that I was looking at that, and that is so interesting.
Yes,
I
it is.
grew up with the mayor. What's his name?
Ted Berry?
Blackwell, Tillery.
Tillery.
Okay.
Yeah, downtown on Poplar Street. We
Okay.
live down
wow.
there.
It's a small world.
It is, yes. Well, you have a wonderful day, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And try to get it at Kroger's, because
I
we
will.
do have Black history in all the Krogers and everything. And that
Okay.
would be really wonderful for you to be able to come there and have a sign-up, you know, so everybody could sign your book and everything.
Thank you.
And buy it.
All right,
That's
Lenora.
a great
All right.
suggestion.
You have a wonderful day, Mr. Ware, and keep on doing good work.
All right, thanks for your call.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Bye-bye.
I
That's
appreciate
Lenora
it.
from Cumminsville,
That's
and
very
we'll take a
nice.
quick break, and then we'll come back with more of Gina Ruffin more photographs of Cincinnati's history right here on the Lincoln Ware Show. Lincoln Ware Live will be back in a moment. Stick around. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. 513-381-3838. Gina Ruffin Moore is my guest. And here's one. I got another photograph of this place called the Man's Hotel.
Yeah.
And I guess that was like the only black hotel in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And where is that located?
That's right up there in Walnut Hills. I think the building still stands.
There, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's near Thompson McConnell Cadillac, up in that area, around the corner from Harriet Beecher Stonehouse.
Right.
That used to be a major African American community, and the reason I put the Man's Hotel in here is because there was a time, people don't remember it, but you couldn't, as a black person, you couldn't really rent a hotel facility for a wedding or family.
And they used to have weddings and things like that.
Oh, yeah, all that was held at the Man's. There are many people who talk about being married and having their reception at the Man's Hotel.
Now, I got a picture of Ezra Charles here. That's on page 30. Who is that he's with? Let's see.
Oh, the guy in the center. On the left is...
Can we zoom in on Ezra Charles?
Is Ezra Charles. He's looking pretty sharp, too.
That's Ezra right there.
And the gentleman in the middle is... that is Reverend Pastor Wilbur A. Page. He was a pastor of Union Baptist Church. And then the guy next to him is Horace Suddeth. And Horace Suddeth, he was a big businessman in Cincinnati. In fact, he owned the Man's Hotel. And he was a realtor, one of the first realtors. And then after him came Donald Spencer. Donald Spencer was under Horace Suddeth's wing, as a realtor.
Now we have a picture of Union Baptist Church. How many people, members of Union Baptist Church? This is back in the 50s. They were having some type of march in the West End.
Yep. They were marching.
Can we get a picture of Union
from their old facility to their new facility.
Yeah.
And that they used to even have an annual parade. And so, but this picture was from the 70s, but the annual parades go back to the 50s.
All right, we've got other photos. Can we, throw up a couple of more photos from the photograph? Now this is the track guy. Who is that now?
Oh, DeHart Hubbard.
Okay.
William DeHart Hubbard. He graduated from Douglas School and Walnut Hills High School.
Is that his Michigan?
Yeah, he's
uniform?
In his uniform at the University of Michigan, and that's what he wore when he competed in the Olympics.
And we've got another photo of something else here. Now,
that's
who is
him.
that?
That's the same guy.
Okay, same
that's
guy.
him as a young man on the left when he graduated from college, and then the picture on the right was in the 70s, because it's interesting. Right after he graduated from college and he came back to Cincinnati, he ended up working for I can't remember, one of those agencies like CCHA or something like that. But he had a tough time sort of making it in Cincinnati, so he left and went to Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Was a successful realtor.
Sometimes you have to do that.
Well.
You can't make it in Cincinnati. You have to pack up and leave. 651-3838 are the only lines available now if you want to jump on board. Let's go to Eric. Eric, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, Lincoln.
Good.
I'm just calling to say, where's the picture of you, the greatest radio host in the world?
Say what now?
Where's the picture of you?
Well, I don't know. I asked her.
Well,
I asked Gina Ruffin more about that.
I can explain. He did ask me about that, and I did have a photo of Lincoln with Natalie Cole. And see, there's only 125 pages, and my editor cut that one because I couldn't fit it in. But there's hope.
You got another book coming out.
I got another book coming out, and Mr. Lincoln Ware, he definitely has a place in Cincinnati.
And that picture of Natalie Cole, she was pregnant in that photograph.
Yeah.
And a couple of people said, well, is that your baby? Give me a break. All right, thanks for your call. Let's go to Tony. Tony, how are you?
I'm fine, Lincoln. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
I got the book a couple of months ago at the convention center, and unfortunately now my mother has it, and I don't think I'm going to get it back. But at the time I got it, I mentioned that I work with Black Theater in Cincinnati, and wondering, did you have any, I know you had the Spencers and their work at the University of Cincinnati, but did you have any other photographs of the Black Theater that have been around here for about 40 years?
No, I didn't, and I wish I would have. And if you have some photos, I'd sure like to get some of them for the next book.
I got 30 years of them. I got 30 years worth of photographs.
Really? Oh, that would be wonderful. I need to get your name and number and make sure I'm in touch with you. Well, my number is 478-7075 if you could call me after we get off the air. 478-7075, because what I did when I wrote this book, that was my biggest challenge, finding the photos. And so what I did was I put an article in the Cincinnati Herald asking people if they could contribute photos. And then I went and talked to a lot of different churches. I talked to individuals, and it's so hard to encapsulate a history of a people, of so many people in this great city over such a wide span. Because I went to the 1800s up to about the I was trying to go up to the 1960s, but I sort of spotted around in late 90s and early 2000s. But I would love to have something like that. And actually, that might be a whole separate book, because if you have that many photos, it'd be wonderful.
Get in touch with her, Tony.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
We have some stuff with the Black Theater Company and Arts Consortium that will really help you.
All right, thanks a lot.
That would be great.
Got to run.
Thank you.
I think we have time for Kim Yell, if you keep it real quick.
Okay, yeah. How you doing, Gina Ruffin?
I'm doing fine.
Pretty good.
Okay, I don't know if you remember me, Miss Gina Ruffin. You interviewed me and my family. My brother was murdered in '84, and you interviewed us at the station. So I appreciate your kind words.
Yes, yes.
Quickly.
On this book, what is the significance behind mostly pictures? Do you have any words that explain some things? And the reason why I asked that question, because the way Cincinnati is now, is the hardship for black people and what we're going through. What type of significance is that book telling us?
Okay, well, let her answer that.
I can tell you that. It's broken up into 6 different chapters, and each chapter begins with 1 or 2 pages of wording, but the rest are photos. And the reason it's like that is because the publisher wanted to show photos in the book, and to many people, telling a history and telling a story, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
You better believe
now,
it. And I'm glad you did it like that.
Oh, thank you. But I did, I was concerned about that issue, and that's why each paragraph begins with about 2 pages, 1 to 2 pages of wording and copy. And it goes back to even talk about how you had to have a bond worth $500 just to come walk around in Cincinnati if you were black.
Gina, I'm out of time. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
And the book is great. Once again, give a place where they can get the book.
You can get it at Borders, Barnes & Noble, Walden Books, or the Black Book Fair on February 9th. And even Les Gaines is in this book. It's the first black law firm to advertise in the United States of America.
Les and Deborah Gaines in there. And speaking of Les Gaines, he's my next guest. So
good.
Stick around for Les Gaines. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Appreciate it. Great book. I love the book. And I tell you, people need to get a copy and take a look at it.
Well, I appreciate being on.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back to Lincoln Ware Live, and we'll talk to Leslie Isaiah Gaines of Gaines and Gaines, the man with the top hat. He'll be right here after we take this break. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. And as promised, my third guest this morning, none other than Leslie Isaiah Gaines. And how you doing?
Good morning, Brother Lincoln.
Good to see you.
Honored to be here with you in Black History Month.
All right. It's always good to see you. And, of course, you've always got something going. I opened up the Cincinnati Herald on Friday, and they got you in there. You did an Obama drama.
And I thank the Herald for letting the world know about that poem and CD Obama drama. But I'd like to begin quickly by saying when I came to Cincinnati in 1971, it's been Deborah and I first been on the air at WCIN with the ABCs of law. And then around 1973, when we first started our law firm, we met Lincoln Ware, and I started my own radio show there at WCIN, and you said, well, look, when I first met you didn't know the difference between a xylophone, a saxophone, or a microphone. And so we go all the way back to my history in Cincinnati.
That's right.
And when I came to Cincinnati, you might remember, that's me graduating from Howard University Law School in 1971. We left right from graduation, came right to Cincinnati with the big bush. I graduated in that African robe. And hey, I've been a free man in my heart for the last 62, soon to be 63 years next month.
All right. Now, tell us a little bit about this poem, The Obama Drama. How did you come up with that?
I'll tell you, this past Sunday, my little daughter Malia, who is now 6 years old, came to me and said, Daddy, I could be the first woman president of the United States. And up until then, I hadn't really thought about the race because I am a Republican. And I said, I'm not involved in the Democratic primary. But then I started thinking about how race was being injected. I said, wait a minute, I can't let anybody inject race in the presidential race now. It could well affect my daughter when she starts and decides she wants to run. So I wrote the poem that morning, Obama Drama, talking about the run and how race had been used against him. And we went down to Max Track Studio where my good brother Charles Menifee is there, and they recorded it. And now it's already on YouTube and going all over the world.
All right, and so you can you just go to youtube.com and click on what?
Obama Drama. You can go to YouTube
and just type in Obama Drama.
Or you can type in Gaines, the Godfather of Justice.com, and my internet site will come up with all my songs and things I've done in the past.
And you've got several books out now, How to Die and Live to Tell About It.
Oh, my Brother Lincoln, this book is so close to my heart because, you know, the reason I kind of get tongue-tied sometimes, you know, I have about 3 strokes, 2 heart attacks, or 3 heart attacks. And hey, a couple times, Curtis Fuller was there, and they thought I dropped dead, speaking down there in the Regal Hotel. They thought I dropped dead right down there when I was giving a keynote speech. But hey, God brought me back. So this book, How to Die and Live to Tell About It, man, is all about it. A book called Been There, Done That. This is a book my wife, Jennifer Gaines, wrote about the world travels. Oh, it's so history and important, man. And then this book, Over the Rhine, a positive book. You know, man, after the alleged riots in 01, I think we walked the streets day and night, me, Brother Muhammad Ali, Brother Tyrone Smith, up and down every street in the alley, over the Rhine for, I believe, 1.5 years. And all of that is in this book about why I walk and about coming through. And I was so honored today to know that we are also in this book. It was history that brought Judge Deborah K. Gaines and I together here in Cincinnati.
Yes.
We got locked up in D.C., a lot of people don't know it, for a civil rights struggle. We seized the government federal building. We seized the office of Donald Rumsfeld back in 1969. Sat in this floor, and they said, if y'all don't get out of this office, we're going to have you all locked up. There were 400 people that went in that building, but when the sheriffs and marshals came in, there were only 40 there. We were known as the Fearless 40. Deborah K. Gaines was there. I was there. We were both Howard University law students. We got married after that, came to Cincinnati, and that's how we got here. We're no longer married, but we're still best friends and work together on a number of different cases.
Okay, so you're still working with Deborah K. Gaines?
On a case-by-case basis. I'm thankful when James Francis, they had him locked up down there. Wouldn't let him out of jail. He had 2 or 3 other lawyers, couldn't do anything for him. He got Judge Deborah, got me involved on the case, and we got the judge, thank God, just let him out.
And he owes something like $900,000 in back child support.
Hey, thanks to Judge Gaines in 10 years she had on the bench, 35 years as a lawyer, we were able to see some justice done for him, and we worked together on a number of cases, just case-by-case basis.
All right, got maybe a couple of more minutes here. Yes. They want to talk to Les Gaines here. Rhonda? Rhonda?
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Rhonda.
Good morning. I'm laying here and I'm watching you guys, and it's really good to see you guys. You're like icons in Cincinnati. I go back with Lincoln Ware from I Got It on CIN. Yeah. I don't remember Mr. Gaines, his TV show or his radio show, but it was really good to see you guys because we don't get to see any other old school Cincinnati.
Well, I'm about as old school as you can get.
You are. I got it. And I really would love to see them give you a key to the city, not to take the focus off of Gaines, but I would really love to rally that.
I do have a key. They did give me a key to the city.
Well, they need to give you a newer one. It's probably old. It's probably old. But it's good to see you guys this morning.
Thanks,
Ron. I'm thankful. I'm so glad because the whole time I was on WCIN, before I turned my show over to Attorney Kenneth Lawson in the 90s, I was on there, started in 71, 2, 3, had my own show every Sunday in the 80s. Lincoln Ware took care of me. Every Cork and all, they all was there back in the Sonny Burns. Sonny Burns.
Yeah.
All back in the old day. Now, how all this has significance to black history. My personal motto, Brother Lincoln, is called Thrive on Rejection.
Thrive
the more I get rejected,
the more you
the
thrive.
stronger I get. You hear what I'm saying? When they told me, look, Gaines, you're not smart enough to graduate from law school, what did it do? It fed me. Because my motto is thrive on rejection. When they told Judge Deborah back then, you can't be a judge, nobody going to elect you. Thrive on rejection. So that's what we need to carry in our hearts, that's what we can give to our children, and you'll be surprised what we can overcome with that motto, thrive on rejection. Now, Brother Lincoln, before I let you go, I got a new book about my life. It's an autobiography called From the Outhouse to the Courthouse. It's my historic journey from the outhouse
to the courthouse.
3 Road School in Sanders Spring, Maryland, and the back road of Sanders Spring, where we had to go to the outhouse, to the courthouse on the main street here in Cincinnati. It's an autobiography, and I look forward to getting it out. My son, Les III, with his company, Business Caddy, is helping me get that up and off the ground.
All right, Les Gaines, good to see you as usual.
Good to see you, my brother.
If you need me, call me.
Thrive on rejection.
All right, today at noon, Cinderella on Ice on It's 38, a rebroadcast of the show tonight at 8 on Channel 25 WOTH, and following the rebroadcast of this show, Drive, starring Kadeem Hardison and Brittany Murphy. And don't forget, you can see all the past episodes of this show online, WBQC.com. Just log on, you can click on the show that you want to watch right there online. And that's going to wrap it up for me. I'll see you next Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. Of course, you can catch me on The Buzz Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 749-1230 is my number there. Or if you just want to talk to me off air, 679-6028. Leave a message, and I'll get back with you. That's going to wrap it up for me. We'll see you next week on Lincoln Ware Live.